friends, Miss Dempsey here. Yesterday in writing, we read the story, or reviewed our story, I should say, about vegetables by Nancy Dickman. And then we came up with some other fruits or vegetables that we were interested in learning more about. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to take a closer look at one of those fruits in particular that I chose. I said yesterday that I was interested in learning more about grapes. So Miss Dempsey went to the grocery store, and guess what I bought? Grapes. I have them here. I'm going to put out some paper towels to keep my surface clean. And here they are. Okay, so I got some grapes at the grocery store. I'm going to take them out of the package. And right away, I can tell that these grapes come in something called a bunch. They're all connected together by their stems. And inside, I'm not sure if you can see it with this camera, but inside there's a very thick stem that runs down it, which is actually part of the vine that these grapes grew on. So, before we get too far in our observations that we're making, I have a little chart that I'd like to work on today before our writing. And it says, things we know or notice about grapes. So before we get observing, what I would like to do is I want to write some of the things I already know about grapes. So I know they are a fruit. And I also know they grow on a vine. Grow on a vine. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to get to use our senses today as we explore our grapes that I have here. The first sense that I'd like to use as I make my observations, or looking closely, are my eyes. I'm going to be looking at my grapes, and I'm also going to give you a little bit of information that I saw when I was observing grapes in the store yesterday. So, first of all, right away, I can tell that these grapes are a certain color. These grapes are purple. When I was in the store yesterday, did I only see purple grapes, you think? No, there was actually lots of different kinds of grapes. It was hard to choose which ones to get. There were green grapes and red grapes and these dark grapes. And not only was the color a little bit different, but so was the size and shape. The green grapes that I looked at were really small and tiny. And then the purpley grapes were bigger. And then I had another kind of grape that was really long and skinny and oval shaped. So that's the first piece of information I want to write, is that they can be different colors, shapes, and sizes. Different colors, shapes, and sizes. Have you ever eaten a grape before? What color grapes have you tried? Were they big, long, skinny grapes, like the ones I saw at the grocery store? Or were they little, round, sphere-shaped grapes? Share with your grown-up. Okay, so the next of my 5 senses that I'm going to be using is touch. I did already touch these grapes, but as I was touching them, they came out of the refrigerator. So right away, my little fingertips, they felt the temperature of the grapes. Do you think the grapes felt hot coming out of my refrigerator? No, they felt cold. So I'm going to write that. Cold. And then as I'm feeling them, I'm feeling that they're round and they're not bumpy. Do you know a word that means the opposite of bumpy? How would you describe something that's not bumpy? Oh, I know a word, smooth. So I'm going to write that they were round and smooth. Okay. Let me see. And one other thing about how they feel is I was kind of trying to push them a little bit, and when I squeeze them, I'm noticing that they're not squishy. They're kind of what you would call firm. Firm is that you can press on it and it has a little bit of resistance there. Firm. So I'm going to write that, firm. Firm. And speaking of squishing, I want to take a peek on the inside of these. So I'm going to put my bunch of grapes away, back into the bag down here. And then I'm going to do some squeezing. So I'm squeezing my firm grape. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to get it to open up. Ooh, and you can see it dripping. You see that? It's wet inside and it's filled with this kind of juice. The inside is a different color. It's this clearish color. And if I look inside, I can see some seeds and it's wet and juicy. I'm going to add that it is juicy on my board here. And the last sense that I'm going to use today is the sense of taste. So I'm going to take this one that I haven't mushed up and I'm going to try it and I'll let you know. Definitely juicy. It's a little tartar than I expected. Typically when I go to the store, I get the purple ones because I find them sweeter and I tend to enjoy sweet grapes better. But these ones are a little tart. Not bad, but still tart. And Miss Dempsey didn't want to get all kinds of different grapes, even though it would have been nice to show you different kinds of grapes. But it would have gone bad in my refrigerator, so I just got one kind. Still very tasty though. So, pardon me, still very juicy, kind of tart, but still tasty. Okay, so there we are. We're done with our observing and writing down what we know and notice about our grapes. Now we can get to the writing part. Okay. Here I have a paper. I just used another piece of the writing paper from our writing journal, and I took the liberty of drawing an illustration for us, just to kind of keep things moving here. And you'll notice that I went ahead and I also added some labels to help my reader. So today I'm going to be writing about grapes. So I drew my grapes. I wrote the label grapes, and I also labeled the stem and the leaf to help my reader. So what I think I would like to do now is add some words of sharing facts about grapes with my reader. So the first fact that we had wrote is that they are a fruit. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write the sentence that says they are a fruit. So grapes, I'm using a capital G because it's the beginning of a sentence. Grapes are, oh, that's one of our popcorn words. The seal at the zoo said to me, R, with an A, then an R, then an E, R. Grapes are a, notice I'm using finger spaces to make it clear for my reader. Grapes are a type of, and that's that tricky word of. Usually if you're stretching out the sounds in your words, of kind of sounds like umbrella, which would be a U, and V, which would be V for vacuum. But that's not how it's spelled. It's just one of those words you have to know. Of is O-F. Grapes are a type of fruit. Fruit. And a period at the end of my sentence. Now I want to include a few more facts about grapes for my reader. First, I'm going to describe what a grape looks like. And on our chart, we had said that they are round and smooth. So I'm going to write that as my next sentence. They are round and smooth. Another capital letter, because it's the beginning of a sentence. They are round and there's that and word. And tells my reader there's more information coming. They are round and smooth. What letter goes th? I remember it's not just one letter, it's two letters working together. T and H make the th sound, like in thumb. They are round and smooth. There's another period. For my next piece of information that I want to tell my reader, I think I would like to talk about the inside, the taste. And all of the taste in a grape comes mostly from the inside part, that clear, juicy part. When we were talking about pumpkins earlier this year, we talked about how the inside part was called flesh. Just like a pumpkin, the inside of a grape is called flesh. So I'm going to be saying the flesh is And I think the words that I'm going to use to describe the flesh of the grape as being tart and juicy. So my sentence is, the flesh is tart and juicy. There's another popcorn word. I'm going to make it capital because it's the beginning of a sentence, but T-H-E, T-H-E. That spells the, the flesh, flesh. And that SH, that sh sound is made by 2 letters. Sh. The flesh is tart. Art. And the end word again. And juicy. J. Juicy. There we go. Let's reread and make sure that it looks right, sounds right, and makes sense. Grapes are a type of fruit. They are round and smooth. The flesh is tart and juicy. Great job! Thanks for your help. So, on your piece of paper, again, you can use a piece of paper from your writing journal, or you can have your grown-up print you off a copy. You are going to be writing facts about grapes today. After you draw your picture of grapes, you could pause the video and borrow some of the ideas that we came up with together. Or if you know other facts about grapes, you could write about those. Up to you. Either way, happy writing. See you soon.